welcome to the MultiFamily Legacy Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Peterson, and man, I've got a really neat show today. I'm going to talk about something I think that we all need to hear, and that is why being in small groups or big groups or groups that are in doing what you want to do is so vitally important. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about masterminds and how I think you need to find communities because I believe communities get you there so much faster, even if you're an experienced operator, right? So I'm going to give a shout out to my boy, George Brouillet, who just teamed up with me and my partner, Mike Cambright, to become part of the Investor Fuel cash flow family. And so George is on his own, is killing it. He's doing lots of deals, making lots of money. Why is he in a mastermind? Well, because he's smart. Because he knows there's value in being around other people that are doing the same thing. Now, the value for him is he's probably looking for deals to sponsor, deals to do. Find a way to get around the right people that I get to know them, like them, and trust them, that they can source deals and he can fund them. Same thing for Corey. Same thing for my buddy, Mike Cambright. That's kind of why we created this deal. But not only for that, is that the partnerships and the growth that happen internally within the system is tremendous and life savings. So we're going to get more to it, but before we do that, a word from our sponsors.
At Kahuna Investments, we partner with passive investors to create award-winning communities families love to call home. If you want to learn more about our company and our process, go to www.kahunainvestments.com and click the deal room.
All right, we're back. So listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I think if you are really serious about this business, let me just tell you a story. Let me tell you a story of me, of the guy that felt in the initial, when I first started, I had to do it all on my own. And that is the story of a lot of us, I think, is that in the single family world, because that's where most of us come from, is we start on the single family track. Not all of us, but a good portion of us do. And in that space, I think a lot of us do it solo. You may have your team, a small team built around you, but it's really built around you and not so much a team or, an idea that's there to make you money. And so the ideal and mentality is, well, why would I partner with anybody? Because I want to be in control. And the word control is really what we're most afraid of. Now, I want to challenge you for just a minute. I want to challenge you to grow. And here's the concept, is that the multifamily game is mainly played as a shared game. Now, that is very different than what is done on the traditional single family side. Because on the single family side, it really is about me. And to go from there to we, from I to me to we, very complicated at times. Doesn't have to be, but I think a lot of this equates to, I'm going to have a partner. I'm partner. What if we, and so let me simplify what I think the anatomy of a real syndication deal looks like and why partners can make a lot of sense. I still have partners in my deals, right? Now, we're still trying and working on a way to fund everything and be totally self-sufficient, and we're getting there. We're getting there more and more each deal, right? Because we're raising more and more capital. But also what we've changed is the size of deals, so we just need more capital. And so we have other partners that help bring capital, help operations, and help run properties, okay? But when we look at the true syndication structure, you're going to do a big deal in your first time. Do you have the funds to even put down the earnest money? Well, if you don't, that's a partner. What if you don't have the credit or the collateral or the money, or because the banks still want to see that you have money and the wherewithal to buy a property? So they usually want $1 million in equity. that's proofed up. And then if you don't have the financials to show that, you got to find somebody. That's a partner, right? What if you didn't find the deal, but you can go find money? That's a partner. Brings you a deal. And listen, and there's people that help find money and also do other things in the deal. And again, that's a partner. And so together we can do a deal. All by ourselves, we probably can't do squat. So the power of networking and being in a group where there's like-minded people trying to achieve the same goal that have maybe different strengths that you don't have makes a strong reason why these groups are super important. And you can get into these groups and masterminds. I mean, it's not cheap, but if I could say, I mean, I just know this from a fact. I feel like if you go into a mastermind with the right attitude and the right can-do attitude, whatever that cost of that mastermind is, you'll reproduce the amount of revenue from it 3 or 4 times in a year, at the very least. And if you can't do that, then you're doing it wrong. Just be surrounding yourself with people that will level you up in itself is a game changer. But imagine, so I'll give you an example of what just happened. I just have one of my students, Matt Hotkevich and Tina Palma, been with me in my mastermind in our Investor Fuel Cash Flow group for about a year, right? Just really going on a year. They've raised money for a couple deals, over $1 million per deal. And then they just found a deal called Slippery Rock, which is the deal that I'm doing now. It's a $40 million deal. And they've got a good piece of ownership and everybody's happy. And I mean, they're moving. They couldn't do that deal on their own. No way. But they can do it and do it with a team. And I'm on their team today, but I sure hope that I'm not on their team tomorrow. I mean, because I want them to get the lion's share, right? And so that's the great thing about trying to be real fluid. And you bring people in deals and you do deals together, but that doesn't mean you use the same people to do a deal every time. And I want that, hold on for that for just a minute and let that sink in and marinate, okay? Most people look at partnerships like this is me and you forever till death do us part. And I'm saying don't go there unless that truly is the right intent for you. But I would say it's better to say, hey, let's do a deal together and see if we like it. And then if we do another deal together and it seems to be going well, then let's maybe think about creating a partnership if that's what we want to do. But sometimes what'll happen is, that partner was good, and had some value. And then, let's say they were helping raise money, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, listen, I kind of tapped out all my people, and, but I still want to do the next deal, and you need some other people to help you, and maybe that's not the right guy anymore. So you got to be able to pivot at partnerships, I think. That's why I always say do deals, don't do partnerships. Because if you don't like it, you can always get out the next one, and there's no bad feelings. And there shouldn't be. And what I found is that everybody can get together on the idea of a deal. Partnerships, way harder. But hey, can we agree to the business plan of this deal? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Who's 1, 2, 3? We can all put that together right up front, and we can formulate, this is a good business plan for this deal. And then you execute the plan. But to do that in a partnership time over time, that's difficult. Because now, what if they didn't do everything they said they were going to do on that first deal? And now you're like, I'm not sure if I want to bring them on this next one because I didn't think they performed. They didn't hit my expectations, or they didn't do what I thought they were going to do, or they ended up being way more difficult to work with. I mean, all these things happen in real life. And so why tie yourself down? Okay. But what I found is one of the best ways to kind of combat that situation is to get into small groups, i.e. masterminds, where you can level up and you get to know people on a personal basis. And you usually want to do business with people you know, like, and trust. And what better way to meet 4 times a year with a common goal of doing apartments, and way more intentional than just going to, like, a webinar or somebody's event. Somebody go to somebody's 3-day event. It's like marketing, networking. And at the end of the day, you got the stack of cards, but you don't know anybody deeply enough to do a deal. And now you can maybe warm up those things. And I've seen that happen over time. Because then you guys are at the next meeting, the next webinar, or the next 3-day event. And that's how a lot of relationships get formed, is people keep bumping to each other and they keep kind of getting, a little closer. And I'm saying that's what these small groups, like what masterminds that we're creating, do. And I say small, but really we're on our way to growth. Like, we're trying to hit, right now we got about 35 people, 40. Our goal is to get to 100 by the end of this year, 100 a quarter. Truly individuals, like, driving the mastermind bus to multifamily, right? And really, in my mind, trying to create our own ecosystem. And so I want to say last year we did probably 220 or $30 million of acquisitions in our group. I think we raised a total of maybe 39, maybe 40, maybe it's $43 million. I have to get the right numbers, but of equity. That's real stuff. And so if you're not surrounding yourself with a group like that, I think you're missing out. I think there's lots of potential that you can get from being in those types of groups. And so before we get too far into this, I just want to offer the Investor Fuel Cash Flow group up to you now. And how you can be a part of that is you're going to text the word FUEL, FUEL, to 480-500-1127. Text the word FUEL, FUEL, to 480-500-1127. And I'll send you the link to get into and start the process of getting into our mastermind. And listen, if you do that, we're going to give you a special discount as well to get in, right? So we're doing a little promo right now. I'm getting ready to do my 3-day live event. And so we're really trying to really make a nice push to get people into our group. And I just thought, man, I'm going to make a podcast about it, because I just see so many people that are right on the cusp. They're already doing some stuff. Maybe they've got 1 or 2, 3 deals, but they need really help getting to the next level. And I just find that a mastermind just brings so much value. And I've been in single-family masterminds. I've been in the multifamily masterminds. And I just know personally, without them, I would be nothing. I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't have a following. I've learned all these things from networking with other people. So I know the power of it. And I'm just going to say, like, for you, I think that's what you should be doing, because it'll pay itself off 10 times, if not more. So if you don't have a tribe that you belong to right now, man, come get into ours, right? The water's warm and it's not deep, and everybody that's in our group are real. There are no show-offs. There's no, we don't take I don't know if I want to say that. We don't take Grant Cardone type people. That's not our tribe, by the way, right? Like, if you're that kind of guy and you got to be all about you and you're probably not the right person for our group. But if you're a heart person, if you're a family person, if you want to live a life and create a legacy and do it the right way, with the correct way to help investors make money, then I strongly advise you to go to our mastermind. Text the word FUEL to 480-500-1127 and jump on board. And you should do it today, because inflation is real, guys, right? And really, and here's the other part. When you're in a think tank like that, think about this. And when you have lots of people in different markets and different industries and all working together, you start to see things before it hits the news. Like, that's the barometer. People that are doing deals and actively doing deals are seeing things way sooner than the reaction from media and social media and all those things like that. So to me, that's even more important of why you'd want to be in a mastermind, because when you're doing that, everybody's got their fingers on the pulse and they're getting real data because they're doing deals in today's world, right? Not 3 months ago, but like right now. And so you get that data right on the fly. And to me, that's where the rubber meets the road. And you want to make sure that you tap into that thing, because it is so valuable, so powerful, that if you don't, you'll get left behind and you'll be wondering what the hell happened. Why, because like someone moved your cheese. But yet everybody that was paying attention to the cheese already saw it moved, and we've all moved with it. And if you're the guy saying, well, what happened? Well, you weren't in the know. And I'm telling you, in times like this right now, it is more important to be in the know than ever. Because you don't want to make that one mistake that'll take you out of the game forever. And so I found that partnering in the groups like this, there's usually always one, 3 or 4 really big dogs in a group, and they can help mentor. And really, our goal is we're going to create 2 levels. We're going to create our gold group. This is for people that have about, from 0 to up to, I think, 2,000 units. And then we're going to have like a platinum group, which is like, the ballers, the 2,000 plus 3, 5, 10,000 unit owners. The guys that have, people like me, I put it like that, right? People that have, $250 million net worth, that are the primary sponsors on their deals, right? Not the small GP side where, I got, 1% of each deal or something like that. But the main guys are doing deals. So, and we'll overlap everybody to really create something special. So, all my buddies that listen to this, that are in podcasting and listen to my podcast, that are truly on the baller status, if you feel like you're like, text that too. Like, we want you too. We're trying to create 2 environments. One for us higher level guys. We have different conversations, right? Different problems we got to solve. And I want you in that mastermind with me. And then we're going to also serve the lower group that needs to level up. Let's help them rise. That's what I want to be a part of. That's what I'm trying to build. Me and Mike and my buddy George, that's exactly what we're doing. And that's why we're so passionate about it, because we know if this stuff works and it will get you there. It'll level you up. We're trying to create a community that is truly the epitome of what we want, which is time and money and friendships and health and travel and do cool big shit and have fun doing it along the way, and to bring as many friends as we can with. That is, I believe that's the calling. And that's why we started, I started this group, my mastermind, initially on my own. And then I realized I wanted to partner with my buddy Mike Hambright, because I don't want to do all the details and the stuff. I just want to show up and give the value. And then we brought in George, because George brings a tremendous amount of value as well. And together, we're kind of like the 3 amigos, or the trifecta, that's going to blow the lid off of it. So again, last time, and I'm not trying to make this all about a pitch, but I'm just telling you, I believe in the product. I've seen it work. I know the testimonials of the people that are in my mastermind, and it is really, really cool. And honestly, it'll make me cry, right? Because I mean, there's no better success in watching people that you help mentor become successful, and to do it and to show up and to change their lives. So if that's you, or if you want to help someone change their lives, you want to be part of the bigger group, come on, man. Let's get together. I've got some things that I do that you probably need to learn, and you've probably got some things that I need to learn. So let's learn together. And let's do it in a safe environment. We're not all worried about who's going to copy who, because if you're not a giver, don't even sign up, okay? Listen, I'll give everything that I have. I don't care. People can rip it. But I'm going to tell you, that's the kind of group. It's givers, go-givers, because there's too many fish in the sea. So again, if you are not in a small group and you need to be, and you know that's you, don't freaking take any more time. Text the word FUEL, F-U-E-L, to 480-500-1127, and let's get you signed up, okay? Going to go through a quick little interview process. but we'll get you onboarded, and I'm telling you, our mastermind will change your lives. It is really cool. It's good, and it's made for people like you that want to grow in the multifamily space. Guys, that's all I wanted to put on this podcast today. I know I made it a little shorter, but this was just on my mind. I've just been thinking about it a lot. For the fact that as I travel, as I meet people, they're oh man, I want to do this, or I'm doing it, but I'm just not doing it to that level, or man, I wish I could be 300-400 units, but I want to get to 2,000. How do I do that? That's a different problem. Corey, how do I do that? How do I grow? How do I scale? How do I add my people? How do I raise cheap capital? How do I use, what software should I be using? All these things, right? We tackle these things in our group, and you'd be well positioned if you were in it. So if that's you, don't waste it. Come see us. We'd love to talk to you. But with that said, guys, really it's all about mindset, right? I say it every podcast, and I'll never stop saying it. It's what you think that matters. It's what you believe that matters, right? In life does not care. It does not give two flips. It only rewards action and belief. The belief is the start of it, right? The belief puts some action behind it, and you do it long enough, and good things will start to happen. If you believe it, you can achieve it, and your paradise is absolutely possible.